Alright, let's get started. Because we got a busy day and I'm already almost 2 hours late. Because I did cardio for the first time in a while, and it was too much work for me. Okay. So what I started doing yesterday is I'm doing the like rework of the area that the game takes place in. So we have our tower and our mountain now. And now this is going to be the city that we need to start working on. And so I'm thinking just I guess just getting stuff in Blender and seeing how I feel about it. Because this is a lot easier to work with than the other one. Do I need this open? I guess what I'll do, hide that for now, minimize this. So for this fortress, there are several things that I need. Oh wait. What is this? This is interesting. It somehow like overrides all, even like, oh wait, I didn't actually start doing the thing. I'm like losing my mind. I'm forgetting how to stream the video game. Okay, so like I said, the new terrain is this. And so, yeah, it looks... I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I mean, admittedly, it'd be nice if the sky... Well, the sky is just a thing that does its own thing, but... I'm gonna say this is promising. But yeah, what I need to do... Let's go to paint. Let's get my tablet, which hopefully, well, I guess I don't need pressure sensitivity, but hopefully the mouse sensitivity works, unlike yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, the day before that. I was like getting really mad because the sensitivity was all wrong. And I literally like stopped streaming twice. Okay, so let's also get my reference images back out. So this is going to be under this concept art environment. So there's several different places we could look at. Let's get like a mood board, I guess. I'm trying to remember where any of the things that I have are, actually. Huh. This isn't a cemetery. This is like a modern building. But I do like this. Because I was saying, like, the architecture of there's basically several different architectural styles in this area. There's the ancient stone ruins, which I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be based on. But they're basically going to be like ancient is like old Islamic and then pre-Islamic, like Middle Eastern or Central Asian style architecture, basically. And then even older, you could have sort of like ancient Egyptian style, but that's probably not going to be in this area. And then there's the copper ruins, and then there's the modernist stuff from the Valic occupation, which is more like this like brutalism style. And then there's more contemporary, like very pragmatic, like corrugated metal and stuff like that. That would be used for more like the like corrugated metal and honestly like mud, basically. Like, this is like what we would see with like the villages, at least, around the area. Probably not in the city itself, but... In fact, don't I have reference images of like cobble? Because this area is smaller than cobble, but it should be like... That could be a reference point of like modern Central Asian areas. Actually, does Afghanistan count as Middle East? Because it's not in the Arab Peninsula. It's like 2 countries over, because there's like, what, Iran and then Afghanistan? No, Iran, Iraq, and then Afghanistan, I think. I'm literally just getting all of the images that I have and putting them on this thing. Like, this doesn't, I don't know what the goal of this is. Oh yeah, because we also need a lot of water features. That's the other thing that I wanted. Okay, see, and this is in here as well. So that explains why it was in the wrong place, because I just put it in the wrong place. Okay, so that's for Vayland. Where is Mukundin? I guess I won't worry too much about the actual like detail of it right now. What I'll think about instead is like the practical elements. Because I know, for example, that we need a government building here-ish. Like, probably, like, built up even higher up on this. So let's just, for now, like, put it, like, here. And I'll just basically have the same design that it has right now, which is just a simple, like, one of these sort of things. I'm thinking I'd like... What do I want with the, like, stairway? I don't care too much. Basically, it'll just stand up here, and then there should be more... Actually, there should be even more elevation. This is a 3D platformer, for God's sakes. Put it fucking, like, up here. In fact, I keep doing this where I go into concept art, and then I'm like, concept art is too hard. I'm just gonna do it, like, the cheap way. Or just, like, do it in 3D. Because, yeah, I'm just not a very good, like, illustrator. Especially when I just want to, like, get a layout. Oh yeah, and I just realized. I mean, nowadays, with modern technology, I can just make this do whatever I want it to do. So let's make it like bonkers. I say like this. And then up here is going to be the actual building. So this is going to be in our little fort area. This will be like platform collision. And right now, I'll be very crude with this. There's always, like, weird little particles of, like, it looks like liquid on my screen, like little droplets, but they're, like, hard. They're, like, plastic. Or, like, you know, some sort of, like, melted resin or something that's stuck to the screen. It's like, I don't even understand what these are. Because I keep thinking, like, oh, I'm spraying it, not saying it. But okay, solidify should be in here. There it is. 0.5 meter. And then let's do... For now, we'll just have a very brilliant, that. This is our government building right now. Actually, how tall is this? So, 247, 252. Okay, so this is 5 meters tall. That seems about right, actually, for, like, the size that we'd want. And then this building would actually be, like, taller than this, like, internally and stuff. Like, I'm thinking, like, let's see. Is this actually... Oh, I see. We need to, like... flip. And that kind of worked? Okay, there we are. Kind of does what I want. And then you'd have like a... That, there we go. A 2-floor government building on top of a bizarro thing. Let's do cursor to selected and then selected to cursor. So yeah, we have our beautiful building overlooking this place. This is some sort of weird bizarro castle thing. Eventually I'll think more on like what the aesthetics of this are going to be. I should think primarily of like the aesthetics of it. Actually, I just had an interesting idea. There is a staircase that can be shut down, but there's water. There's waterfalls. So I'm thinking, waterfall collision. I mean, really, I should start working on making, or figuring out how to make this, I'll do this way anyway. Eventually I need to develop a new system for making these water, or like making things that can be loaded and unloaded, because right now all of this is going to be like loaded into the world at all times. It's just going to be selectively hidden and shown, which will be okay for some things, but not for others. Wait, no. Let's join all these. Because I'm thinking basically like some little thing in here. So like Okay, so imagine, if you will, that water comes out of this thing. There we are. And it pours into different areas. You know, and there's like some reason, a rhyme and reason behind it instead of just looking stupid. But that's for later. In fact, what would I want for this? I think what would be cool what if we had like this, but then this one goes like this? Because I'm thinking basically the reason I want water is there's a quest where we stop time, and one of the properties that happens is that water is solid because it can't move out of the way. Now, admittedly, that would mean the atmosphere would also be like solid, or like pinpoints of like solid mass, but whatever. I'll just say it can be moved. It's just not like, it has momentum that's different, and like it's not compressible. Like, because water isn't compressible, therefore it can move. That's the internal justification for it. I mean, admittedly, it's a machine that stops time, so like I don't need justification because there's no justification possible. But I want it anyway because I like that. I've been trying to figure out a way of making it like mathematically possible for there to be like the ability to stop time and like walk around in this stopped time. The best I can come up with right now is that like there's a multi-dimensional, like time is a multi-dimensional thing or something like that, like a plane. And so instead of 4D spacetime, you have 5D spacetime, and then you can like rotate or like, and then a velocity is like a rotation in this spacetime. But I don't think there's any way to make that consistent with what I want for the game, so I'm just gonna leave it at that and like let players satisfy themselves with the technobabble. But okay. All that to say is, you'll be able to climb the water. In fact, it's actually boom. This now makes this unclimbable. Actually, this is a much better idea than what I had for here. I'll just do the same for this. So I don't know how it works. Okay, now let's just put in high res a plane. Waterfall collision. Oh wait, this is let's call it the roses. So like Fort Waterfall. Oh, I'm just realizing a big problem is with my system right now is gonna be that this high res Blender's names are like globally unique, so I can't have anything else that's named high res. So I'll have to figure out something else for that. But for now, oh, I have to do you know, I have a good idea. How do I make it so that I can, like... So I can copy an object. Can I then, like, edit this thing? So go to low res. No. I basically wanted the ability to, like, take a curve and, like, modify it properly. Yeah, okay, I can't do that right now. Hang on, let's see if I can figure that out. Blend, well, no. I'll just put it in my workflow thing of like, copy curve from one thing to another. That should be under, terrain rework. World rework, probably. What am I looking for? Blender wants. Okay. Copy curves or meshes from one object to another with different modifiers. Because basically, I don't know how to copy like the mesh, or I don't know how to copy the curve data if I edit the high-res curve and then want it to apply to the low-res curve. So let's just ignore it for now. Because all I need... Oh, and then also I need to put in that terrain rework. Terrain rework, high res and low res can't all have the same name due to Blender's global rules. Maybe have some sort of rule for importing. I bet I can do it with a script. Yeah, I think what I can do is just have like, you know, high-res dash collision, like high-res dash collision, like colon unique, or something like, you know, like Crab Hill Fort. And then this is an ID that I can then detect in Godot once I've imported the scene. Remove that from the name. So that way all of these can have unique names. But I can just strip them off. And then I can still use my, like, name-based system for this. And okay, let's not be too fancy here, because I just need the actual, like, layout of this waterfall. Because basically I want to make it so that it's climbable. You know, so it'll have enough, like, contours. Where would the water go? I think it is just going to be, like, a nice lake out in front of this. This is very interesting. This is a very, like, weird design. Admittedly, I have, like, a, I don't have a very, like, designerly sense of, like, well, I guess I just don't have a very good sense of design for, like, aesthetic things. Especially for, like, architecture like this. Like, it's not very appealing, I guess. Or it certainly doesn't, like this wall, for example. It's just kind of an ugly shape. Like this weird, like, rounded rectangle. Because in real life, there's a lot more, like, shape to things, like interest in the shape. But okay, so I'm thinking like, what am I thinking? Like these would go almost straight down, and then there'd be some sort of little like ripples across it. And those ripples are going to be what the player can actually climb on. Let's triangulate this and see if I can fiddle with it. This is kind of what I want. And then I guess smooth. And then let's add a little bit of a dip here. So I'm thinking right in here. This looks like the perfect candidate to just push down a little bit. And then we can maybe do, like, this area push down more. And then let's square this out a little bit. And I'd also like a like darker color here. Aren't there different objects here? Let's say maybe even random would be better. Yeah, let's say random. Okay, so I think, yeah, it's really nice having the terrain in the same file as the buildings now. It will cause other problems, but for now, I can ignore them. You know, and insist that this work will, in the end, be, like, worth it. Let's push that there. Then plane. Okay. So this will be our, like, pond. And this will also be in high-res. And then I'm thinking, get a curve. So like fort, pond, wall, collision. So let's get a, I'll say geometry node. Fence. Oh, right. I need an actual, like, thing to... There we go. So what do we need here? We need a mesh, node curve, to mesh. Plop that in there. Get a square, no, a trapezoid. I wanted to... Let's just do a quadrilateral. Oh, right, this is how we do it. Okay, there we are. It feels like it's... So it's always different. So let's do like 2 meters. Or let's do like 1.5 meters by 2 meters. There we are. How do I like... Oh, there we go. And eventually I'd like to get the individual points of this and then add some like little like end cap things. That'd be good. How do we do like, how did I do that before where I like actually got this thing? Was it like Alt E? Yeah, I don't know how to get this. Is there like a... I guess there must be a jet flying directly above me. Oh, okay. There we go. We just grab it and just hope for the best. There we go. And now we do just another curved rectangle here. Okay. Level it out. And I'm thinking, why is it not aligned? Let's do like 0. Okay, that's what it was. Now it's a centered trapezoid, probably. Yeah. So this is the wall around our fort pond. And then this will eventually do something or other. And so how would people actually get up this thing normally? This would be an insane place to actually like do work. Maybe there's just an elevator on one side and some like closed off stairs on the other, or like an internal building or something like that. Let's just say that that's the case. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to make sure that I can actually make this climbable without making just the wall climbable. In fact, that could be... Hang on, I just had a good idea. Do a similar thing that we did here. So this is just going to be kind of like a feature of all the buildings in this area. Just because, for the game mechanics, this makes a building unclimbable. Like, now the player just can't get up here. Oh, wait. ASZ0. There we are. Took a bit of work. But okay, so now the player can't climb up to here unless they can do it up by the waterfall. This is coming along. This is like a... Just from a mechanical perspective now. Kind of interesting. However, I will need to really think about what I'm going to do for the actual, like, chunk. Because like I said, I can't have everything in the main world, though I can have some of this low-res stuff in here. So I think I'd actually like to make this wall more like this building. But for now, let's do, let's put this at waterfall. There we go. It's kind of broken because the waterfall depends on UV maps, I'm pretty sure. But for now, it'll be okay. Oh wait, no, this needs to just be water. And eventually we'll have particles to mask that. And let's have these. So these are not one. I think it's just layer 14. And then I don't know if I've actually implemented the system for like stopping time in here. Oh. Huh. When did this happen? Godot has a helpful habit of automatically focusing on text and then like as you're like playing the game. Oh, hi, welcome back to the stream. I don't even remember speaking Greek, so I must have been I must have missed the chat message for a while. But okay, let's teleport to Grab Hillflow. Why are these buildings... Oh, they're low because they're low res. Hang on. These should just be here for now, and this should just be capital collision. Is this gonna like work? Is the control S gonna work? Is F? Okay, Godot's just not responding to key presses anymore. Interesting. It likes to do that sometimes. There we are. Interesting. Now the water has disappeared. Why is it invisible? Oh, I see. Because I had the high res for some reason. Okay. So this will hopefully work. I was hoping the save would also work. Okay, let's do like a global time stop time. Okay, and this should, yep, it makes the water walkable. So we would need something else. Oh, weird, we can't, why can't we walk? Or why can't we roll jump? Huh. I'll just put that in bugs. Can't roll jump off of water when time is stopped. It's going to be under bugs somewhere. Roll jump off water when time is stopped. So what we need is probably something about halfway up this. I can do that. Wait, what are these? Wait, hang on. Oh, I see. Wait, no. I don't see what these are, though. No. Let's leave it as it is. So ideally, the player will not be able to get up here unless time is stopped and they can climb up the waterfall. What am I looking for? There we are. There we are. And then, last but not least, there. Then we'll do like a triangulate again. Do a similar thing where we just like push and pull things to make it a bit more interesting looking. And eventually we'll like extrude things such that they can actually like, so that they like make sense in physical space. Or like as water, you know, would do. Okay, so actually, because this is in water, why is the player always like here? Isn't there like a tried to load with no save? Well, then save. No, that's the wrong place. Hang on. Isn't it called save name? Okay, save name is here. Oh wait. Movement demo? What is the movement demo's name? Okay, so this has the same thing here of mdemo. Debug. Actually, debug menu or console. There we are. That's what I wanted. Save. Okay, so path string equals global dot. No, you know what? Save checkpoint. Save. Oh wait, no, I see. If path not equals that. There we are. We need to have the building visible from here. Like, it's a bit too far back, so that way you can't even see the, like, height of it. But okay, I think there's no way to get up here, especially because I don't think you can climb from the water. Oh, you can. Yeah, there's no way to, like, really jump up to here. Okay. So then, Dave. DP, no, global time, stop time. Okay. And now, we can walk on the water. It's still too high for us. Yeah, there's some jank with the rolling on water for obvious reasons. Maybe what I'll do instead is just have some little pole or something, like something right up here. I think I'll do that. We can just add like a see, how does the tower work? Tower, so chunks, tower. Okay, that's how this works. Let's go to, let's just make a new one. Just be Crab Hill Floor. And this will do chunk content as well. Because this will be a V2 version. And what this will do, there we are. It shows us all the stuff. Why doesn't it show us everything? Where is use v2? So world instance world node equals that. If use v2 terrain. Oh wait. Oh, I see. Okay. So why is the terrain test still like this? Why is this hidden by default? That should always be like, it's not hidden. It's not hidden. Is it like a thing here? Oh, I see. Because this, let's do if engine, let's just do not editor that. There. So that way it won't hide this stuff by default. Because that's what was happening. There we are. Okay, so now I can start adding stuff to here. So we can have like a spatial for like active entities. And then like, let's just do, for now, actually let's just do like a scrap thing. Basically these will just be very obvious like placeholder things. So I'm thinking just like a little rose that looks like this. With like, what's the one that's long? This one. Not that one. This one. There we are. And we could have more of these as well, actually. So like just have these around. So it's like, oh, look at this. It's some sort of weird sculpture. And then the player, wise to my tricks, will be like, ah, no, you see, that's incorrect. Actually, I think the music's been a little loud this time. I just realized I had my volume lower than your volume. But okay. Let's try again. And now it might even work still. Because currently it just does preview stuff. Not quite. Do we still do preview? If real AABB has point P, preview, so it should do that still. Okay. Let's do that. So, oh, I see. It's because I need to, I think every time we load this, we should just do our generate thing. So where is that? That is get chunk bounds. Yeah. I guess this might be more difficult in the future, because yeah, it does add all the stuff into the scene. But okay, now it should be marking this box. And I think the issue was before it was being like, or it was using like an outdated box. Okay, there we are. So now, stop time, or global time, stop time. Wait, why is this not, let's put a rock. Make this easier yet. Good old-fashioned rocks. And that also actually fixes some of the issue with like this here, where it's like confusing. But okay, now there should be a rock. And then there will be particles that are not moving. Okay, for some reason I was like incorporeal and like just phased through this thing. But I guess, oh, I know what it is. Okay. It's because the bottom, like the collision isn't quite right, because it uses a simplified collision. I think? No, it doesn't. What? Weird. Okay, well. Now the player can get up to here. Maybe. I think I'll just have to add some rocks onto each one. Oh, but actually that means that the player would be able to get up to here. I might wouldn't just give the player a stamina up for this instance. What if I just move this little bit upward? That'd make a lot of sense. Basically, have all of these. Actually, Just move these ones up like this. So that way, the player simply cannot climb up this thing. And they can only climb up it if they have the waterfall, even though I will now add rocks to make it easier to climb. Like, each of these is like some little like fake terrarium, basically. So like, can I like get the physical things? There we are. So you can see the ways in which I am now subtly making it climbable. And let's put like rock 13. Nope, not rock 13. Rock 10? Yeah. Rock 10 looks fine. And then potentially in the future I could have even more methods of like getting up here. Okay, because this waterfall is very tall, this waterfall shorter, this waterfall is a little shorter. Let's put like a rock 11 right here though, just in case the player can't figure that out. Because now I'm going to have some lore to explain why this castle, like why this fort is the way that it is. But okay. Global. Time. Stop time. Did these get... Oh, I see. Okay, they did get saved. Can I get it so that the player can actually get onto this thing, though? I guess I could do an even another, like, even more obvious thing where basically I just have, like, I'll show what this is once I get it. Okay. Remove, for example, this, and this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and then 0.4. Oh, no. 0.5. Let's do like 1.4. You know, I probably should have just designed this one the same as I designed the other ones, but oh well. So now what it is the goal is it should not be possible for the player to climb up these from the ground unless they can climb on this, but then it should be relatively easy to climb up when time is stopped. And then eventually I should also make this look a little bit better, because it's kind of like scuffed with like, for example, the sizes of these are inconsistent. Ah, well, I'm fiddling too much with the details. You can see the vision, presumably. My tea is delightfully room temperature. Global time, stop time. I just remembered, the player's gonna have to do this in the complete dark. I'll probably have, like, maybe I'll just give a big spotlight to the characters. Wait, hang on. Oh, there we are. Not quite high enough for this. So what I'll do is maybe just lower that one slightly, because it's the one, like, because this is much shorter, but then again, I like how it looks with being, like, less uniform. So I think what I'll do is maybe just bring this up a hair higher. And then, like, have, like, a rock underneath it, like this one. Oh, wrong button. Now this looks cool. And hopefully this will look interesting enough that the player will be like, oh, I see. It's a cool sculpture. Or just some wild and wacky architecture. And they don't immediately think, oh, that's for platforming. Like, I can see it. Oh, I just realized. That one you can just jump up. So let's make it, let's remove the, well, can I just, like, so if I'm standing here, I mean, admittedly on this one, I can just, like, climb it without these at all. In fact, can I do that for this one? So, like, if I'm just here. Oh, yeah, I can probably do this. Oh, yeah. Yep. I guess maybe it's enough that this one is unclimbable. Because this one most certainly is. Well, if I have the rock here, if the player can, like, I mean, the player can reasonably get up here with the, okay, yeah, the player can just get up here with what I have at their disposal now. I may want to have some other way of doing this then. Because otherwise the player's just going to climb up there and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, in fact, I can just do, like, global dot time dot resume time. Start time. There we are. Especially if we got, like, the wave shot. Yeah. Oh, wait. This one. Actually, okay. So this one's a sticking point. Unless the player just has the wave shot. Yeah, because then they can just get up here. And then all of this is easy. And let's remove, well, I think this is fine. Keeping some rocks, keeping some decorative rocks. Let's actually have the decorative rocks on this side though, so it's a little less obvious what this is for. In fact, we don't even need these ones here, if I remember right. I think then the real interesting bit could be to have some sort of like deep water well in here that the player then can walk through. Terrain looks cool. I like how this terrain turned out. I was worried that I just wouldn't be able to make something that was like half decent, that that basically accomplished the same gameplay things that I wanted for the original world without, or in like a feasible amount of time. But honestly, I think, especially for the purposes of the vertical slice, this will be a good enough like vista, even if I don't implement like more advanced material shading and stuff. I can just paint some green for the grass in various like parts of the valley. How am I gonna do the more advanced things? I guess I could just have a texture that goes over the whole world. That could be fun. And that could just do, yeah, you know what, I'll do that. And that'll basically pick what textures we use for different things, like levels of snow, etc., etc. But okay, so this is accessible with this. The time stop is not strictly necessary. I do think it's interesting, though. And I may make some areas like under here that are also only accessible with the time stop. In fact, I should probably think about how I'm going to do that. Or like what the actual route is going to be. Will they climb up this? In fact, I'm thinking can I make it so that it's more feasible to climb this without the aid from, like, this, for example? Because I do like the simplicity of, like, this. So I think this would require basically just more twisting and turning of the water. Oh yeah, also I've been playing more of 1000X Resist. That's the game I was thinking. It's been very interesting so far. I really like it. And I really want to basically finally conclude the epic saga. Because not to get too spoilery, but I basically thought the game was going to end, and there's going to be, like, you know, 5 more minutes of, like, climactic what have you. And then it was like, no, that's like approximately halfway through the story. Here's the other half of the story now. And it's like, it went in a completely unexpected direction for me. Because for those who don't know, 1000X Resist is kind of like it's one of them walking around and talking games, where you explore a fictional mind palace of a person. Essentially. You know, you're doing some memory stuff. It's actually kind of thematically similar to this game. And so something I've been thinking about is basically emphasizing things that this game does that 1000X Resist doesn't do. Because if I tried to compete on the same, like, footing of, like, cool mind spaces and, like, telling an emotional story through those memories, I'm gonna fail horrifically. Because 1000X Resist has made me almost cry, like, 3 separate times now. So I've been thinking, like, maybe just emphasizing the exploration nature of this game, or, like, the sort of, like, interactive, almost like choose your own adventure style nature of it. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, I bet you I can design this in such a way that I can climb it. But it's going to be tricky. Actually, I just had an idea. So I had those little things. And my complaint was basically it was too easy to get from here to here. But what if I make it so that you can't get from there to there? You have to go from here to there. So it's slightly different, but now it's going to be easier to get to here. And then I'm going to have to make some reason for why that exists in the game. Okay, so let's double check. So if I did item, wave, shot, and admittedly, I can also just not care. Oh yeah, because you can just... Well, yeah, you know what? I'm going to say it. That's fine. Also, I've been thinking more about, like, my other project that, basically, like, that engine on top of Godot. I'm realizing I literally can't even see where it is. Okay. The problem is now this is going to be way too difficult to like actually get. Yeah, now it's easier the old natural way, or the old-fashioned way. Okay, let's go back. I think this is better here. Just making it relatively obvious that you can actually get up to here. Yeah, this is the... I guess what I could do is make it even more impossible seeming. Without being able to climb right up the waterfalls. Like I could remove the internal supports from them and then just have them like inexplicably almost floating above it. That could be a possibility. So what I'm imagining is like, if all of these, for example, were touching each other, we could say that they're all attached at some point. So I'm imagining like, you know, maybe this one, well, this one's already attached to the wall, but like how these two intersect. So then it could be like, yeah, so these are almost like impossible seeming. And then here, for example, what we probably want to do is have it do a little bit of like this. Oh. There we go. That's what I wanted. In fact, we could do similar things for most of these, but oh, and also this one. So this one will attach here. And that means this one doesn't actually need to attach because these ones attach to it. Thinking also, I want these to attach a bit more correctly. Just for like cool points. Okay. And now, I would honestly prefer this one to be, well, I think that's fine. Okay. There we are. So now the whole gimmick of this sculpture is going to be like, how does it stay up? It looks like floating platforms in a platformer. But actually, it's very intelligent and well designed, and it makes me smarter. Okay, so this should help make it harder. And what I might do is add, instead of these being here, we'll just have little scrap pieces straight up attached to it. So it will just be like this, basically. Oh, wait. I just realized that's still like... Actually, I'm gonna skip this album. It literally shuffled to the exact same album again. And then it shuffled to the exact same album again. And then it shuffled to the... It's shuffling between the same two albums over and over again. It's only doing these two. Okay, hang on. I'll just click one manually, and we'll see if YouTube can figure that out. And there we go. Okay, so as I said, the vision will now be, you can have a thing like attached here, and it's like, oh, isn't that cool and mysterious and interesting? And then this should be basically much more difficult to climb from a standing position. Okay, I'm gonna be in the water now. In fact, I just realized I could also make the water much deeper. Oh yeah, because now you actually like can't go into it. Okay. So now oh wait, this still does its thing. Oh, I see. Because the actual, like, bubble doesn't form. Okay. That's not going to help me here, though. I feel like my stamina is draining faster than it should. I think it's because now I have, like, this, like, the subtle curves to the fountain. And they're not actually helping me anymore, which means that this should be on this side, but that doesn't make sense for a sculpture, because, like, why would it be on that side? Oh wait, I should do it without this thing, because it's not going to be in the vertical slice. Okay, now it's pretty easy. And then that means, if we don't have that, now we can't feasibly get up here, because there's nothing to climb on in the center. Oh wait, okay, so we can still do it, but we have to do it, like, very, like, precisely. Oh, I should also fix all of my other, like, rocks. There we are. Okay, there we are. And you know what? I think I can change how the story works, because right now I said that there's like 3 buildings that have the same layout, but that's kind of dumb. I think what would be more likely is just the sheer fact that it's basically impossible to get up here without access. They would be like, well, no, of course there's no, like that would be the source of the delay, basically. That's good enough for me. And so eventually I'll have to come up with a cool name for this place now, because now it actually, like, warrants having, like, an identity in the story. Let's see, global time, start time. So I'll definitely need to put some shape to it, I guess. And some particles and splashes and stuff like that to make it more obvious that it's like some sort of crazy sculpture. And we might want to even just have just plain old snipers, just like in some level there, just at, you know, aiming at the player if they come into this area unannounced. You know, no playing in the fountain, basically. In fact, what... maybe I should do even more water in this area. Just make it a whole, like canal town, basically. Yeah, so now we have this whole beautiful walled city, all built for that one thing. Very cool. Okay, that's good. I really like how this area is coming along. I think the next thing would be to make a cool building for the top of it, because this like little like farmhouse type thing does not sort of, you know, suit the kind of design of this place. And I kind of want this summit to be a little crazier too, but I'll leave that as a trial for another day. A trial for another tribulation, so to speak. Okay, because what else do I need here? I think what I'll do is let's put in, man, the one problem with my text search is it expands everything. Okay, so let's just put in quests, dress warm for time stop. This one is our most important right now. I wish my, like, things worked. There we go. So, like, redo dialogue about the buildings. Now, so, they doubt Balter because the building is, or because the capital is nearly to enter about access. And that would be much more interesting for like a video game plot of like just go to the capital and then platform up this crazy thing while the time is stopped. Oh, that's gonna be cool. Like they just get a big floodlight and they're like, okay, figure it out. Time is stopped, water is solid, just do it. Okay, so let's figure out, like I said, main thing here that I want. It should be further up to the center. In fact, what if we did... I'm just thinking, basically like this. It's like just have a little precarious little ledge here. That'd be fun. And then let's separate this into like its own thing. So that way this can still just be as it is. Let's see, so this is now going to be a Capitol building. Trying to figure out like what exactly do I want for this as well. Let's solidify it. So like, actually let's make it even thicker, 1 meter thick. Especially since there's now going to be also places that are like crawling into it. There we are. Bravely rejecting nature. No human man was meant to build on this mountain in this way, and yet the mad lads did it. Let's see, so what is... Oh, wait. Let's do cursor to, or origin to center of mass surface. I prefer volume. Yeah. And then maybe... There we go. I basically want it to be like telling me what floor level is. So that way when I do this, it should tell me, yeah, 0 point blah. And then here is 11 meters. So that means that this thing is a 4-story structure. And I think for now, I can leave it at that. Because we could maybe do like a little bit of like a little bit of this. No, I don't like that. SY. There we are. I think that's fine. Because what I wanted, basically, is a little bit of space in here. For, like, some sort of internal courtyard, basically. Huh. Looks kind of like a crab. But okay, that's the capital. I'm now imagining something like this. Little crab building overlooking the whole world. Well, overlooking like half the world. You know, I was worried that this wasn't going to be a very, like, strategic location, but this is, like, impossibly strategic. You can see both valleys, the desert. And sure, it's not, like, up at the top of the mountain, but you can get a pretty good look of anybody coming down the mountain. So I'd also like to figure out where to put a train system. I'm thinking basically get the train tracks along the river, or along the valley this way. Get a little bridge here, and then boom, Bob's your uncle out of the... Okay, I'm gonna do that. Let's get... It's not gonna be really a train, or it's not gonna be there right now. Let's do curve. And let's add a geometry node. I think we're gonna do this one for now. You know what, let's duplicate it. Is there a way to is this, so assign new geometry, create a new geometry node group and assign it to the active modifier. That doesn't seem like what I need to do. Okay, so I'm going to copy those. Let's do this. So, grain. There we go. And we're going to slightly change the, let's do, we don't need these now. Do this, and then we're going to have like a, we'll have it be 5 meters at the top, 8 meters at the bottom, 40 meters tall, so that way no matter what, we can see it. That's probably a little too crazy, actually. How wide is a train, actually? Let's do like 8 meters wide. And then like 40? I want it to be, yeah, I think that's good enough. So let's say the train is going to come from this way. So the train will disappear off into the night. And then the train should very slowly go up to Crab Hill, or it should go down very slightly. I think it would be better if it went up like this. Which now means that Crab Hill has the train station, which was not in the plan originally. So I may want to think on that. Can I, like, how do I bisect this? Like, cut? I guess the best way to do it is just put this here, put this here. Because basically I want, like, another, like, layer here. Or, like, it does that, basically. And it'll very slowly go up as it comes to here. It might be better if I do... No, I think it makes the most sense for the train tracks to crisscross this way. Maybe I'll just have the train station somewhere else. Like flatter ground. Or maybe there'll be one train station here, another train station somewhere further down. That'd be kind of crazy, though. Like, 2 train stations, like, a mile apart. Or, like, 5 miles apart. Ah, well. I'll figure it out as I go. Oh, wait, no. I already need a separate train station for the, what is it? Mazlicare. I can probably just have that be the train station as well. Like the civilian train station. Okay, so I'm thinking... It's then just, like, is precariously, like, along the line here. I wish there was, like, a GG that I could do. Because basically I want this to be, like, scaled... Oh, I can just scale it. So that way it flattens out quickly here. Okay, but I'm thinking it's gonna cut along the terrain like this. Kind of glued, you know, attached to the train like here. Riding along. Little bridge right here. And eventually I'll need to, like, plot this a little bit better, but oh well. Or, like, make proper, like, bridge meshes and stuff and, like, remove this from those areas. Actually, that'd be fine. Actually, this here is the perfect place for the train to be. Mostly flat. Lowest to the ground. Okay, so I'm thinking we just go straight this way, mostly hugging along these tracks. And that means that we should probably, yeah, straighten this out here. Very slowly go up. Slink along the terrain here. You know, I think it'd be easier to just bulldoze this whole area. You know, completely cut through the terrain there. And then have just like some junk. I'll think on that. And then we ride off into the sunset. Can I do like a subdivide? Oh, I can do that, yeah. Then we can do the exact same thing here. Look at that, beautiful. Scale this out a little bit. Well, let's keep this, let's go out curved a little bit. Admittedly, I don't think a train conductor would really like how curvy the track is at these like extremely precarious ledges. I just realized I can just make this, like this can do the work here. And then, yeah, and then we ride off into the sunset. You know, where do we go from here? Who knows? We'll just keep going. We'll just keep on trucking. Like that. There we are. So now we have something that could vaguely, theoretically approximate a train track. So I'm going to call this train track collision. And eventually this will be split into multiple chunks that all follow the same curve with like tracks that are actually like there and like bridges and you know, also, like I said, probably cut into terrain at various points. In fact, I could add that. Just as even a Boolean modifier to do it non-destructively. I'll think on it. But for now, what I want to do is I just want to ride the tracks. I want my good old-fashioned train track material. Where is 062? Which ones had the train track material? Aha, there it is. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Did chunk 74 have it? I think 63 had it. There we are. This material, save this. Material, environment, train, gravel. So first thing, this should be there. And there. Interesting that it has a very like interesting interpretation of reality here. Can I like, how can I make this like point upward? Hang on, I'm gonna do Blender Curve Geometry Node Meshes Upside Down. Blender Curve Geometry Node Upside Down. Flip the orientation of certain curves. This doesn't seem to be what I want. Oh wait, I've meshed multiple islands, I've converted to curves, now I'm trying to apply certain things to these curved islands. Seems like there are edges with orientations that are flipped, don't care. So the curve reverse node swaps the start and end splines. I don't need that. Curve profile is backwards. Need to flip the profile on Y to get identical results. I guess what I could do is just change this from local coordinate. Oh, it is. Hang on. This uses world vertex coordinates. How does this not, like, point up? It uses world vertex coordinates, so it should be, like, Y should be up. I mean, we shouldn't need to do this. We can just do normal. Oh wait, no, I just remembered. The reason it does this is because it is slightly different. Because it does linear interpolation from vertex to vertex. So if they're pointing in opposite directions, it goes to 0. Okay, so the big thing to figure out will be oh wait, no. It's correct. I'm just dumb. I forgot that I basically have this as the floor. Okay, I am seeing it's a lot wider than it originally was. Okay, let's do a rapid start. Save. So yeah, now we'll have the train here. Probably not right here, I just realized, because I don't want it going right directly through the town. Because this is like 12 feet away. Well, I don't think that'd be that big of a deal. You know, the train probably isn't going to come very frequently. Okay, now we'll have like a fast track, har, to get across the world. And actually, I guess this is appropriate for like the width of a train track. Yeah, this seems fine. I'd basically just like, I'm not going to use this literal curve. I'll basically just try to figure out like, how do I make the train tracks all join together? And admittedly, there's not much point in me doing this, but I guess it'll show, like, it could be cool. Yeah, once it's, like, dug into the terrain more. Yeah, I'll have to look more at, like, mountainside terrains, basically. Or, trains, not terrains. The terrain tracks. Yeah, and then in here, there's going to be, like, more definition. Since the valleys right now, they're perfectly flat. Eventually, there'll be a lot more there. Man, like, so much of the map is now completely in shadow. You know, I'm divided on that. I'm gonna have to figure out, how do I want the tree to cast shadows without making too much of the game world cast in shadow at all times? I guess if it is just the sunset, it'd be fine, because it'd be like, you know, 5 p.m. The world, a lot of the game world is getting dark because it's in the shadow of the mountain. Yeah, that's fine. The real question will be how to make it so the shadows like behave nicer on small objects. What if instead of doing it this way, I did it as a mesh going upward that then cuts through the terrain and flattens it? And then I try to figure out some way of making that behave nicely with everything else. Yeah, I think that'd be a lot more reasonable. Okay, so I think I've basically just crossed the entire game world now. This will be such a cool little area. I think the tree needs to be a bit cooler from all sides, though. Right now it's very, like, skewed in one direction. Also, I'm going to re-implement the, I'm going to bring back my colliders. So let's go to the actual world. And it's interesting to see how much slower the main world takes to load than the terrain test. But okay, what else did I have to do today? So I brainstormed, so we got the fort, got cool time stop stuff, multiple buildings. We're not going to do this anymore. So what is the Nightlight quest looking like? Mix of old and modern. So I got some ideas for that. So more modern stuff. So yeah, so here, what was I doing actually? Oh yeah, getting the colliders. There we are. Actually, how big are these? Oh, I see. We need to do collision shape. Yeah, it's a lot bigger now. Let's just put it all the way up. Like, there's no limit. And we'll make it thicker so that way it's harder to get out. And we'll push these around a little bit so that way, like, it doesn't limit too much of the interesting stuff in the area. And then just make these longer. I don't know why it, like, I don't know why it's moving them in the opposite direction of the direction that I want to fucking drag and click. interesting. Thank you, video game, for not letting me do this. Fuck you, video game. You can't tell me what to do. Actually, there we are. Okay, so where's our other boxes? So, like this one, for example, one of these. This one should be a little further out, so that way, there we go. That seems about right. Yeah, because now we're approaching a lot closer to the border now. So I think that the world is actually physically larger than it was. Just in explorable space. But okay. Let's scoot. Wow, Godot is not... Okay, there it is. Took it a little bit. There we are. Now this will let us get somewhere. Wait, okay, the world feels larger. Or no, the day-night cycle feels different. Oh, I see. Because I changed the animation, basically. Or because, yeah. Because originally, the day-night cycle, our reset animation, so I want the fog distance to be a little bit different. Let's make this 22,000. There we go. Basically, the fog is even more intense. But now the world feels so big that it almost feels like it's or it feels more artificial to have such strong, like, atmospheric scattering. Well, yeah. I may want to do something like depth-based. If I'm going to have, you know, things that are like 2 kilometers tall. Yeah, but definitely one of my next steps will probably be sculpting out more of the terrain for the train tracks. And then putting probably just a simple placeholder for the distance stuff. And then I guess the next big thing will be to input the quests back in the game. And our nav meshes and stuff. Because now that I know that I can do the bounding boxes on nav meshes, that makes my life a lot easier. Because I don't have to, like, contrive, like, non-terrain surfaces that they walk on. I can just, like, dedicate a section of the terrain to having a nav mesh without generating one for all of the whole game world. Because that would be a little bit difficult to handle. For anything between those pockets of nav mesh, I can just have, like, hand-placed nodes. In fact, I've thought about, at a certain point, making, like, nav meshes of nav meshes. Like, an NPC figures out which rooms it wants to go between, and then each room has its own, like, nav mesh that it actually does the proper, like, A-star searching through. Well, it would also do A-star search through the rooms. Like, each room would have, like, okay, to get from this room to this room, it takes this amount estimated. So then it just picks, like, the optimal path of rooms, and then you, like, reduce the space. Or you, like, you just do dramatically smaller searches for each one. And then it wouldn't be like globally optimal, but it would still be reasonably close. Okay, so what I'm seeing is the borders don't work. Is that because I got the wrong things? I think it might be. I think this is an area. Yeah, this was not what I meant. I meant to get the other thing. Let's take another 25 minutes. Because I guess what I could do... So where are the actual bounds? Okay. They're a little bit further out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this hard border. So let's just say like soft border. And then static body. And this one, we'll just push these borders out a little bit. Why is this here? I see, it was just basically different originally. But okay, this way, we can actually like, is video game like working? Why does it keep playing the wrong animations? Didn't I literally change this to be like... Look at that. So it's playing the wrong animation, which is interesting to me. Script inherits from area. Oh, right. I need to remove the script. I think I may also change how the day-night works. To use a gradient for the world around us. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, and I don't need to go the farthest possible way to get to the border. I just want to make sure that the border world actually, or the border area actually works. And let's also close that. There's like some weird flickering on YouTube. Golly, and look at our shadows. Maybe what I need to do is cut the world into like 4 chunks, or like... Yeah, just a fewer number than there were. So that way it's still manageable. And that way I can still like selectively disable shadow casting on distant chunks. Oh yeah, okay. Now it's actually, now we're at the border. So it should probably like override the scooter when the player gets on it. I could just do that. Yeah, let's do that right now. So when this thing does this, on body ender to body is player body. If or body dot is hovering. Let's just do function hovering. Return state dot equals state dot hover. There we go. Because the player's likely, if they're getting to the border of the world, gonna do it this way. Okay. Invalid call, non-existent function get, and base nil. So, who are we? Why are we not working? Border, main speaker. Why is this? Wait, why does this have a main speaker that's not us? What does the world do? It has no main speaker either. What even is this? Okay, so this is a dialogue trigger. Okay, so if main speaker, get node main speaker. So start dialogue self, dialogue sequence speaker. Let's just do like else speaker equals self. Okay. So we can keep going, and then we'll just bump into the wall. But now we bump into it at a tangent, so it's kind of awkward. Oh, and we can run up, or we can like climb on it. I should probably make like an explicit wall, or should add like a material to it when you get up close. You know, similar to the demo material. Would that be... I guess it'd be a lot of draw. Or like a lot of like pixel fill. But what's one layer of pixel fill? But okay. So now when you're on the scooter, it'll tell you anyway to get back. Man, very cool. I like how this is turning out. Admittedly, I didn't do everything that I said I was going to do today. Well, I did kind of brainstorm on it. I'll just save it for tomorrow. Kick it down the road. Because I think designing some streetlights, that'd be easy. I actually am very happy with this little like miniature level. Admittedly though, thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this thing to this side. Let's just put that in like fixes. So let's just put that here. Flip the bottom tulip statue thing so the waterfall is facing us. Nah, I don't need to worry about it. Basically, I'm thinking also NPC that tells you about the statue, because it is an interesting statue. And then the next big thing will be re-implementing the ability to, like, load chunks. Or the ability to make chunk details in Blender that are then loaded with the rest of the scene. In fact, will I do that tomorrow? Probably not. I don't even have PowerShell up. PowerShell. I pressed the Windows key and then pressed PowerShell. Five, project, status. So this will be new chunk, or no, Crab Hill Fort platforming. And some misc changes, I guess. I don't know what I changed, but I did change stuff. Let's just say new Crab Fort cool platforming section. Git push drive. And I forgot to do that here. Okay, there we are. I want to thank you for stopping by. It was a bit of a shorter stream, but I want to do other things. I want to play more 1000X Resist. But okay, I'll be back on Sunday for a big full day of streaming. And we'll do more of this stuff, I guess. Working on this new version of the city, which has been sort of energizing for me, because it looks just better. I think it's actually, like, for the first time, I feel like I'm genuinely improving the game with this new terrain stuff. But okay, see you later.